Hey guys, welcome back.
Are you gonna Bampots? Hey, we're live for the first ever episode of the Bampots. Now, forgive us if this looks a bit garbage. It's the first time we've ever done a live stream. This is going to be a weekly podcast, hopefully. We'll hope it'll be a weekly podcast. We're aiming for about 45 minutes every time. We're going to speak about gaming, content creation, pop culture, all that sort of stuff that we're into. I'm one of the hosts here. You'll be able to see by my name just underneath me. I'm Musley, and I'm joined by my fellow host. Go and introduce yourself.
I'm Atticus.
Is that it?
Enjoy it.
I'm Atticus.
I'm also a YouTuber and a content creator for the BBC. I make videos for The Social. And our guest that's about to join us, Zephy, she's a Twitch streamer who streams League of Legends and also a content creator for BBC The Social too.
There we go. That's a great introduction. Now, I'll just put. Is there anything we want to speak about before we get Zephy on, our first ever guest?
Is there anything that you want to speak about particularly?
Well, there's one thing I wanted to mention, and that is how junky this is going to be. This is going to be very rough and ready. I don't know how to stream on YouTube. I don't know how to use Discord. I don't know how to interview people. I don't know how to talk to women. So this is going to be odd, right? This is going to be it's going to be really odd. But we're giving it a go. This is the pilot. I'm not even I don't even know if we've got anybody watching. I haven't got chat open. I don't know what's happening here. But we'll just go for it, will we?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How about we get the guest in? The main attraction, the only reason we're here. Will we do it?
Let's do it, yeah.
All right, let's go get
Let's start with some League of Legends questions.
her. All right, I'll kick that off. Let's go get her.
Stream on the channel.
Don't worry about it. We're live now. We're back in the game.
Perfect.
We're back in the game. One thing I was saying before you joined us, Zephy, I'll just take over. One thing me and Atticus were saying is how rough and ready this stream is going to be, how junky it's going to be.
Whatever.
But it's fine. We just roll with it.
Exactly.
So how are you?
I'm good. This is my first YouTube live and my first podcast, so it's going to be an interesting one.
I hope
Yeah.
so. I hope it's interesting.
I think so. I think it's already interesting considering how well it's been going.
It's very interesting. What I thought we'd do first, I'll let you introduce yourself for anyone that might watch.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, my name is Ainsley, but I go by Zephy because it's easier and people can pronounce it. I'm a student in Scotland, but I was born in Australia and raised in the US, so I've got an American accent. I stream League of Legends mostly, and the medium on Twitch, and I've got 2 hamsters.
Oh yes.
Here's my 60-second rundown.
that was pretty rapid. What are your hamsters called?
Tea cake and dumpling.
Oh, that's some cool names for hamsters. I'm just double checking that I'm just double checking that all my audio and everything's set up. That's why I keep looking to the other side. That's where everything is. As I said, it's going to be junky. I had a hamster when I was little. It was called Felix, and I was over at my mum and dad's yesterday, and we were speaking about that hamster just yesterday. So that's why I thought to ask.
Yeah, why not?
We bought the hamster, and within a week it had babies. We asked for a boy. Within a week it had babies. It was quite the boy, and we tried to take it back. We tried to take the babies back to the pet shop, and they said no, you can keep them.
Oh my
so we just
God.
gave them to friends and things. And then a week after that, it died of tail rot.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's a tragic one.
That is so tragic. But hopefully your tea cake and dumpling are having a happier life than that.
Yeah, they're pretty young still, but they're the sweetest animals. I've always been an animal person. So like I have just been craving having an animal since I got here because I was in student accommodation before and obviously weren't allowed pets. I can't tell you how excited I got over just having sea monkeys for a couple months. Like they were my life and then they died while I was away. But yeah.
Out of curiosity, what are sea monkeys? Aren't they
Sea
just
monkeys are brine shrimp.
So they're actually shrimp.
Yes. Yeah.
But they're like
they're just like
microscopic,
little.
aren't they?
Yeah, they're like. I mean, you can see them. Sometimes they can be like an inch.
Really?
So like, yeah. So they can get pretty big, but most of the ones are just really, really tiny. But they're cute when you can see them.
Have you seen them, Leslie? No.
Sorry?
Have you never seen them?
I kind of have, but I never really understood it because whenever I've seen sea monkeys, or I think I've seen sea monkeys, it's someone just pours a packet into some water, and then these things fizzle, and they are the sea monkeys, and then they die after a short while.
It's because they can like be frozen and then like be reactivated, but you need like the special salt water and solution and stuff like that too.
And then
they're
I'm guessing
amazing.
They must breed quite readily as well then.
I guess so.
In order for people to have like freeze-dried packets of sea monkeys to sell in pet shops. Oh, that's quite
And they die really fast too, so
yeah,
that works.
It's like a day later or something, isn't it?
Something like that. I had mine for a couple months, but I think it varies.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if you're caring for them, they might live longer. Yeah. Oh well.
Probably.
I can't believe how amazing this stream is already.
I love it.
Hamsters, sea monkeys.
You know what? That's a lot to tick off.
It is. And neither of those things were on my list of questions to ask. So this is brilliant.
Exactly.
You mentioned you live in Scotland. When did you move here?
So I moved here like 2 years ago now. Yeah, about 2 years ago for school because I study media and communications.
Oh, yes.
So I have just been soaking it in, and then the pandemic hit, so I could only soak in the 4 walls of my student accommodation. But you know what? Like, I love being here, so it's fine. I don't mind staying inside.
Yeah, I mean, you've come to Scotland, which is renowned for having beautiful scenery, and then pandemic hits, and it's like, brilliant scenery in here,
I got to go on the North Coast 500 though this past summer, so that was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing.
I mean, the lockdown has. I mean, people have still been allowed to go for walks and things, so it's not like it totally. It's not like you're not allowed to look at stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's been nice. It's been good.
That's brilliant. Because there'd be like I always go on about how amazing Scotland is, and surely it has loads of flaws, but I always bang on about how it's the greatest country on earth and things. So
I might have to agree.
Really? Well, if anyone ever sort of thinks, so you know what, I'd love to visit Scotland, I'm like, well, just make sure you visit the good things and don't.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
It's like any place in the world. There's good.
Exactly.
There are people, some rubbish people. Just accept. Check everything out. Deep fried Mars bars, mountains and rivers. And haggis, definitely. Have you tried haggis, actually?
I have.
Buckfast.
I actually have to both.
Really?
And yes, I actually like haggis. Buckfast?
Not so much.
It's a bit medicine-y for me, but it's alright.
It's actually English. We've adopted it as our own because people here just love Buckfast so much.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Dude.
Fair enough.
Well, shall we move on to questions that I actually prepared?
Yeah, let's go.
Why not?
So the first one, let me get my glasses on. I was really wanting to ask you about League of Legends because you play
Yeah?
League of Legends.
Yes.
Do you like
Just
the
a
game?
little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know if you can. I've got Scion down there.
Yeah, Lux behind you.
Yeah.
Is that 3 Luxes?
No, that's Sailor Moon, and then Lux.
Yeah. 'Cause
Scion.
I don't know. Sailor Moon is that anime?
Yes.
All right.
Classic
I think
anime.
I've heard. Classic. Come on.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like what year did it come out?
90s?
Okay. maybe
Not
it is.
sure.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
It's old.
I can't believe how many times I've said really. You've surprised me with so many things.
It started as like a monthly like comic strip in a magazine, and then it just took off from there.
So it really is classic. Let me
Yes.
let me quickly Google Sailor Moon. I can't find any in. Oh yeah, 1991. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That is actually it's pretty classic. Because
Good.
I am not a big anime fan, and in fact, when I did used to watch anime, nobody knew that it was called anime. We just called it manga films, because it was a VHS tape. You would go to the video store or whatever you call it, the tape shoppy, and you'd get a tape, and on the side it said manga, because it was the manga company that made them, and so we just called them manga films back in the day. And
Fair enough.
My favorite of all time is Fist of the North Star.
I haven't seen
Know
that.
Really?
Have you seen Inuyasha?
Which one?
Inuyasha?
Inuyasha? No, never heard of it.
Also a very good one. Older one as well. Yeah. Incredible.
Fist of the North Star is 1986. I think the other one, so Fist of the North, I mean, there's so many amazing. Everyone's going to be like, oh, Akira's the best, which technically I suppose it is. But Fist of the North Star.
It didn't really age well, though.
Akira did.
No, I'm saying it never really aged well. I watched it last week, and it didn't quite age quite as well as a lot of other mangas.
Akira didn't.
No, it's literally watched it recently, and it looks super old-fashioned now.
Really? I thought it was a timeless classic, to be honest. But another one that I absolutely love, which is quite similar to Fist of the North Star in terms of the amount of gruesome detail there is, Ninja Scroll. I think that's from year 2000 though. So
I think I've heard of that one.
I think it's much more recent. Is Sailor Moon any good? Because it can be classic but still be bad, but it is good.
Yes. I mean, it hasn't, like, in some ways it hasn't aged very well. But it's still, like, it's just so cute. And, like, I've started reading the manga because when I was a kid, like, I got into anime and stuff because of things playing on TV. Like, Sailor Moon would play, like, Tokyo Mew Mew, except it was, like, the American version, so it was, like, Mew Mew Power. Things like that. And then my friends started bringing manga to school, and I was like, yes. And that's how I got into, like, Inuyasha and Ranma Half and all of those classics.
Ranma Half, that sounds Scottish, does it?
It's so good.
Oh, well. So, that's Sailor Moon. Lux is behind you. You like League of Legends. You implied that you like it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, I love League of Legends. The reason I asked if you like it, like, obviously you must like it if you play it, right? But but there's a lot of people that don't like it, but they play it anyway. Would you?
I know some people like that.
Oh, you do? Ah.
Yeah, definitely. But I have my moments. Like, if something is extremely tilting, like, I need to, like, log out, turn off my computer, touch some grass. Like, those moments where I'm like, oh, I hate this game, or someone's throwing when it's really close, things like that. Like, that I can understand. But playing it itself, I enjoy. I feel like it's easy to get addicted to, if that makes sense. I've also got a little Morgana right here.
Cool.
You mentioned earlier there was a Scion. Is that the one that's underneath Sailor Moon?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Down there. You can kind of see his head.
I've got a couple of things as well. Wait, you see this? Haha. That's Ezreal.
Okay, that looks awesome.
In a bath.
That's amazing.
Rubber ducky. That was made by an excellent dude called Chibin. And
amazing.
This is Senna and Lucian.
Ah.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh my god. Yours are so much nicer than mine. Mine are just the little like mystery boxes. Yeah. And I've got Morgana, Jinx, and Lux, and Draven.
I've just disappeared for a second. I've got heaps of stuff. I could.
Yeah.
I've got heaps.
No, I mean, please do a full tour at some point, but.
Yeah, well, let's get some questions out of the way, and then we can whip out the paraphernalia. So, I mean, I've got a list of questions here. We just went through a couple of them.
Yeah.
How did you get into League of Legends?
Well, I mean, so I heard about it through a friend group, but they didn't really like talk to me about it. They were like, "Ugh, it's not your thing. You wouldn't like it. Like, it's not very girly." And I'm just like, how do you know? And then someone made the mistake of showing me a cinematic, and I was like, I am obsessed with this. Yeah. And then I like read some of Lux's lore, and I was like, ooh, like. I think that's the reason why I love her so much, is because she's the reason why I got into League. Yeah. Like, watching her Star Guardian thing. Like, I'm moving right now, but I have this Star Guardian desk mat and everything. Like, And so I got really into that side of it, and then I started playing, and it took me a while to, like, figure out the ropes, but I think I picked it up pretty quickly, and what I couldn't pick up, like, I would get through practice or reading or watching other people play. Mm-hmm. And I think that's basically it.
So were you always so you were into games anyway, though, were you?
Yeah, I was into games anyway. I didn't play a lot of PC. Like, I played like Don't Starve Together. I tried to, because like I had an old like MacBook. And so I was trying to play games on that. So I played like Undertale and Don't Starve Together and like things like that. But once I got into like online gaming, I was like, okay, time to upgrade it. So
competitive nature came out.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. In the beginning, it was a lot of like gaming cafes too, because my computer couldn't handle League that well. Yeah. So I'd go to gaming cafes and whatnot to try and get better.
I wonder, so you went to gaming cafes to play League?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's partly what makes League so popular, is that, although I was away to say, because it can run on such low spec machines, so everyone can play it. It's kind of like why, or what I imagine is why, like Minecraft is so popular, because you could run it on a calculator.
Minecraft is a good one.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's
classic.
It's one of those games. It's similar to Fortnite. I have an opinion that those games are actually amazing, even though I'm garbage at both and I never play both. But the reason people hate them is because children do the dances in public and things. And what's the other one that they do the dance from? What's another game that's popular with kids they do dances from? There was another one.
I think of Fortnite, and I think of all of the like Five Nights at Freddy's like merchandise and like Toys R Us and the kids stores.
Songs as well, and
I think the merch can be the worst part, because like these parents have no idea like what kind of monsters they're letting their kids buy like plush animals of. I'm like. You would be surprised.
So, what's like? I'm just trying to think of the list of questions I had. I don't want to just go off on a tangent, because we could be here for.
No, don't worry. Yeah.
Here.
What you saying?
I've actually got your list right here.
Yeah, I've got your list as well.
Your next question was about old school games that you loved. That was a question that we wanted to know.
Because I was going to ask like how you got into gaming in the first place.
Yeah.
And were there any OG games?
I mean, to be fair, I was like one of those kids that would play like you know the free CDs that you would get sometimes in like a t-shirt and a magazine or something like that that are like really simple games. Like I liked those, and I liked Sims and stuff, but it wasn't until I got my, I think it was a Game Boy SD, I was like obsessed with it. I had like the Bratz game, the Barbie game, like I had Lilo and Stitch and Finding Nemo, and it was my best friend. And then I got a DS, and then I played Nintendogs, and I was also obsessed. So like it started pretty young, and then as I got older, I think I got more like into it. Like I played Overwatch, and I tried to play Portal with my younger brothers, because I've got two younger brothers, two baby brothers. They're not babies, but one of them's 18 and one of them's 12, but he's like a foot taller than me.
Kids these
but
days
yeah,
are massive, are they?
Yeah, like we would play video games together all the time, and so it felt like something that I always associated with like my brothers as well. And then when I got my own PC, I was like, there's just like a whole world of stuff that I'm missing out on. Like, what do you mean League isn't it? What do you mean there's other online games?
Surely there aren't other games. I've never played them. Speaking of League again, what's your main role?
I play right now bot. I've been playing a lot of ADC. But I like a good mid lane game. I feel like a good Nico game, just the best feeling. But yeah, I am too aggressive to play like support, and I don't have the patience to farm in top, so
yeah.
Or IQ for jungle.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose it depends on your rank whether you require an IQ or not.
Yeah.
Low elo jungle, I suppose you could just farm until you're strong and then dominate.
True.
But
it depends on the champion as well. Like sometimes that works, and sometimes you need those early kills.
Yeah.
To get anywhere.
So, I totally would have had follow-up questions and things, because there are so many things I would love to ask about. Because one of the stereotypical role for women is obviously support. I have seen loads of ADC players as well, girls playing ADC. I've seen quite a few mid laners as well, but I have never ever seen a woman play jungle. And I've never seen a woman play top. And I don't know why. Do you think you have?
I mean,
is it too boring?
I think personally, like bot lane and mid lane is more of like you need to be aware of the other person in lane more. Jungle, to me, you have to be thinking about like the next 20 steps ahead of you. And so for me, it's like, and then everyone gets mad because you're not ganking enough, you haven't farmed enough, why are you so behind? And that to me is like way too much pressure. I can't, like, I do not want to be reading any jungle diffs in chat. No thanks.
You get the diff in every lane, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. And then like with top lane, it feels like, you know, I don't mind playing top. Like I do like playing Kale. Not so much in normals, but a lot in ARAM. Oh, yeah. And I like playing, like, I do like top lane champions, but I think it can feel really slow. And if it's not slow, if one or the other person is super aggressive, then you're fucked. Like, like it feels like that role, especially top lane, I feel like you need to be able to read the other person, like, when it comes to farming, you need to be able to like think about like, does your jungler need help, like things like that. And I'm just like, it's not that it's too much work, it's more that I want to be able to get strong and then just bulldoze people. Like in top, it feels like you need at least first blood or something like that. Loads of
Yeah.
farm, and that seems like risky. But I like ranged champions a lot
Yeah.
too.
And
So
yeah, they're never.
it limits it.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
never easy
Lilia
to
though.
You love what,
Yeah.
sorry?
I love Lilia, and
Oh,
so
yeah,
yeah, I think she's really cute. And so I've tried to play her mid lane before, but she's like my go-to pick if I have to play jungle.
Yeah.
But I don't enjoy it.
Well, all of those things you mentioned about top lane, that's some of the reasons I love top lane, is because you're almost completely left alone. So
Yeah.
it really is like a test of your skill versus your opponent. Although, like, when you get ganked, you're like, hey, what are you doing? This is top lane. Leave me alone. And then,
You're not meant to be here.
yeah, like, what? No, we didn't agree to this. But like you said, you could dominate your lane as a top laner, but then you come out of laning phase and you're like, hang on a minute, we're getting destroyed. When did this happen?
Yeah.
But then that's
Yeah.
I think as a player that's my fault because I should be helping other lane. Like you shouldn't be an island in top lane.
But it depends on a lot of things. Depends on the champion, depends on the game. Because, like, if you're playing Nasus, like, getting those fucking stacks, am I allowed to swear? Getting those
feel free.
stacks top lane, like, if you're getting super strong and just bulldozing top lane, like, you can help the rest of your team 1v4 if it gets that bad, if there's team fights happening. But, like, if it's more, like, your team needs you to be strong, it's better that way. But, like, if you're playing Teemo, like, it's probably a good idea to, like, lace the, allied side of the map with as many bombs as you can. But to be fair, I don't play Teemo, so...
Yeah. Only
don't know.
the insane would play Teemo. I used to love Teemo. Actually, Teemo was the first champion I got level 7 on. But I
Oh, there you go.
I did it just as like a meme, like haha, look at me, I tortured myself by playing Teemo.
Yeah.
That type thing.
Lux was my first, I'm sure you could have guessed.
Yeah, well, because I checked your stream out and watched hours and hours of it, and it was all ADC. So when I saw the Lux posters, I was like, oh, that's unusual that you're in love with Lux, but you play ADC.
Yeah, I know. It's tough because there have been times where I've just taken Lux ADC because I think it's funny. But at the same time, with Lux, like, I enjoy playing her so much that I know that I can play her wherever if I need to. Like, I mean, I don't love playing against, like, a Zed or a Yasuo or something that can kill me straight away. But I do... Sorry. I promise I don't have COVID.
We'll have to wear our masks.
Good thing it's, like, over Discord.
I know. We've all got antivirus, do we?
Yeah. But yeah, like, I can play her anywhere, and so I feel like she's a very safe choice for me. But if I want to, like, not necessarily always show off a bit, but if I want to, like, get better in other roles, like, challenge myself a little bit more, then I like playing, like, Nico or Ari. I feel like I'm good at them, but I'm better at Lux.
Yeah.
Also depending on who I'm against. But when it came to ADCs, like, I just love feeling powerful.
Yeah.
Getting, like, early kills and then actually being useful. Like, sometimes it goes to shit, and, like, if you don't get those early kills, then you're
like
done for.
It's feast or famine in the bottom.
Yeah.
I find.
100%.
I think that's another reason I love top lane is that even if you get destroyed personally, you can still be useful. Like I play a lot of Malphite or a lot of Gangplank, and with Malphite you just press one button and you can turn a team fight.
Yeah, 100%.
Or with Gangplank, even if you're not directly helping your team, if you're still farming in the top lane, for example, I can press R and I've helped my team in a team fight, even though I wasn't even
exactly. And, like, you live long enough to press R. Like, sometimes if it's really strong, then it's difficult to, like, get in there if there's not some form of engagement or tankiness to shield.
Yeah. Or if you've got a godlike support that can peel for you and just make you survive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a reason I'm not keen on most other roles, is that you could be dead like that,
Yeah.
and there's no
Yeah.
counterplay. Whereas Malphite, you
Yeah.
just build armor and you're strong.
Yeah, exactly. Like
And armor's cheap.
almost a guarantee that you're not going to die instantly, but it's tough because sometimes as a top laner, I could totally see myself having to sacrifice damage for tankiness and worrying. But then, like, if the rest of your team is weak and they're just getting one-shotted, like, that's a tough call.
Yeah.
And I think I prefer, instead of like the macro stuff, like I really like the little skill shots that just feel so good when you land them, you know? Like as Lux, like getting that QE like ultimate combo and having them die
with the auto.
like like it's so satisfying. I can't even I can't tell you how satisfying that is. So like could you guess my second and third highest mastery things?
Can I guess? Well,
If you haven't looked.
You've mentioned Nico. If I haven't looked, your account. You mentioned Nico. You mentioned, was it Ari? You said.
Yes.
So would that be your second highest?
Ari is, yes.
When I said Nico, you were like, yes, as if it wasn't in the top 3. Is that right? It's not in the.
It's not Nico. Nico's up there, but it's not Nico.
Is it an ADC that's?
Yes.
It is. Is it Caitlyn?
No.
No. Misfortune?
Yes, I love Misfortune.
Yeah, because getting the Q double up is ultra satisfying. Or hitting an
It's
E
those satisfying skill shots that just it makes the game for me. It makes the game addictive.
Yeah. So speaking of things that make the game addictive, there are loads of people that say they hate the game and then they can't quit. I think in my opinion, I have ideas as to why, and I think some of the things we just spoke about it touches on those areas. Like what do you think causes people to hate the game but not be able to quit?
I think there is definitely some form of like chasing the high of winning, because when you come back from a game that you were sure you were going to lose, that is also a really great feeling. It feels very validating, you know, or to get another rank higher. And so like, of course people are going to want those things because it's nice. It's awesome. But as soon as you like lose a game, like losing ranked games, really, it tips me off the edge. Like I am suddenly not in the mood to play League at all after I lose a ranked game.
But then there's that thing like, but I could win the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, it's like drugs.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think there's quite a few things. Even like other people in the community, like being toxic in chat or blaming other people, like I think some people let that get to them, and it's difficult to tune that out. Honestly, like muting people, muting everybody is just the easiest thing to do. Yeah. And keep pings if you want, but it depends how toxic the person is.
I've noticed. This is a follow-up question as well that kind of ties in with this. Do you watch any do you watch streamers in League of Legends, creators?
Yeah.
Who do you watch?
I watch KP. I love her. I literally like her energy is just so just right for me. Yeah. I like watching Twigger LOL. I think. Yeah. I really like his content too because it's very positive and I appreciate that.
He's got a right positive attitude.
They're both Lux players. They're both Lux players as well, which I really appreciate. And I did like watching like Lily Pichu and Pokey, but I just found myself like not watching their streams as often as I would like KP or Twigger, because like I find that you just get different things from each streamer. Yeah. And so like if I want a really comfy stream, then I will watch like Lily Pichu. But I do love the hectic chaotic energy of KP sometimes. And Trigger's just so wholesome.
I've never told anyone this, but I've met Lily Pichu and Pokimane.
They seem so cool.
Oh, they were super sad. I was actually being sarcastic. I tell everyone. It's normally like,
Poki is
I'm
like
Muslim.
my
I've met
role
Pokimane,
model.
you know?
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, I think she was the first female streamer that I ever, like, knew was a thing. And so for me, this was in, like, 2016, 2017. I was like, oh my god. Like, that's something that's, like, allowed. Like, I'm allowed to do this and not expect to be absolutely shit on it. You know, like, I think you know, everyone's human, so like whether you love her or hate her, like that's up to you. But I personally like I really appreciate that she was someone that has been doing it and is still doing it and has become so successful, you know, and unapologetic about it. I appreciate that. She seems very smart.
Oh, I think to be as successful and not be smart, it must be difficult. To reach that level. Yeah, it's the same with like you see glamour models that are getting slated for being stupid, but they're always in the limelight. It's like, well, they've got something up there, you know.
Something's going on.
They know how to milk it. No, I'm not saying that that's what streamers have done, particularly Poki and Lily Pichu. Like they've used their talent rather than anything else. The reason I was going to mention. Or I wanted to ask, not just because it's interesting, but asking who you watch. And I love the people you watch as well. I watch a bit of Tyler 1.
I do too.
So, do you? Brilliant. Yeah. The reason I was going to ask, the whole reason it triggered the memory that I was going to ask is because when you were speaking about muting all chat, have you ever noticed that at the end of his games, he always struggles to turn on all chat again? Like, he doesn't just mute everyone, he actually disables it in the game menu.
Oh,
and so
okay.
At the end of a game, when he wants to trash talk the enemy, he gets up the menu and he's struggling with his mouse. He's like, right, where's the option? And then he clicks enable all chat, and then he's like, haha, get pooped on, nerds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so at the start of every game, he obviously mutes all the chat, doesn't speak to the enemy, because what do you gain by chatting? Nothing. It's only there to tilt you.
Yeah, and people could like be stream sniping or recognize him. That could probably also be distracting. Yeah. Like I feel like muting is like the best option for anything. Sometimes it's funny to have all chat. Like I do understand the purpose of it. I think I wouldn't like chat as much if it was only like you could speak to your teammates, because like having the option to talk to everyone in the game, like it's funny.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to.
Sometimes it's just funny. Yeah, or like, yeah, exactly. Or like sometimes, you know, like I'm not a toxic player. I will say that before saying this, but sometimes it's funny to just be like, LOL, like after they like clearly dive you or something like that. Like those types of short quips have me cracking up. I think that's the best part.
And it's another thing that keeps people coming back to the game, but that's down to the players themselves. Yeah. This is getting back to the list of questions, because I've just noticed we've been live for almost 40 minutes now. That's flown by, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's rattle through these questions, and I'll pass you on to my friend here.
The question for both these actually that links in with League of Legends, which is I absolutely love gaming as well. I'm constantly gaming as well, but for some reason I've never really managed to get into League of Legends. But love gaming. In fact, Musley, you might not remember this, but the first time we ever met, we were arguing over who likes gaming the most, me or you. The first time we met, within like 10 seconds of meeting each other, I was playing International Superstar Soccer with Cammy Rob, and you came into the room with his brother, and you were like, I love gaming. Then you start arguing about it.
Was that on the SNES?
Yes, mad.
Eddie?
You were playing ISS.
Yeah, we were very, very small at the time, yeah. And the question was like, I played League of Legends every day for 2 weeks to try and get into it, because I figured, you know, everybody loves it, it's a good game. I could not get my head around all these different lanes and stuff. I was making very, very, very slow progress. I could not get anywhere with it. And yeah, obviously I was getting roasted in the chat and everything, which didn't bother me because you expect that. But there obviously must be like something that clicks, and then that's you.
I think so.
Sort of, if what you guys think that would be, like, what is the advice that you would give to somebody that's new, that's trying to kind of learn it?
If you're trying to get into League, like, be prepared to give up a lot of time. Like, I feel like something that really made me, like, have it click, was watching other YouTubers, like, break it down. Like, I watch so many how-tos, like, mostly because, like, I wanted to get into it really badly because I was so inspired by the lore and the cinematics. Like, I thought they were so beautiful, to the point where I was just like, okay, like, I'm going to learn the tutorial and then, like, just trying to figure it out. And once I, like, adjusted my settings as well, like putting quick cast on and things like that. Like, there are just some things you do that no one tells you that you're meant to do when you start playing League. Like, there's just, like, a list that you go through to try and make it the most convenient and, I guess, in my case, playable, because I don't know if I could play with the default settings anymore. Like,
why are they the default?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's getting used to the movement as well, like understanding how, like, the mouse connects to, like, the enemy champion and aim and things like that, like predicting where they'll be going as well, trying to predict movement.
I think watching other YouTubers play the game and explain things, tutorials effectively, that's how I learned the game. And there's still so much to learn as well. Like, I'm still learning every time I watch a streamer. One person in particular, Nice, he does coaching, and I learn something new every single video, because it's other
so cool
as well. And I forget it the next day, but I learn something new every time. And that's why when I play, I always lose, because I'm garbage. But you pick things up. No, exactly. I think that's a brilliant way for people to get into the game, is watch other YouTubers and other people being passionate about it as well. It's infectious, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Like, getting into, you don't have to be into the lore to be into League, but, like, I feel like fuels it a bit, because you want to be playing these characters that you love, or that you want to have as an extension of yourself while you're playing. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, see yourself as the mini character on screen beating people up. Yeah, basically.
I mean, that's what a lot of games are. Is it's like you said, an extension of yourself. There is a word for it, I'm sure, or a better way of putting it. But yeah, you just become, or you feel like you are the character. Yeah.
Seeing yourself in the character, I think. Yeah. I think that goes for, like, a lot of media, like movies and stuff too. Like, it's easier to relate to the character. Yeah. It makes you more passionate about the movie because you want to see them succeed. You want to see them do well. And so when that happens in League, of course, you're going to take it personally. But if you lose or you die a lot, it's just like, oh, so frustrating. It didn't physically hurt, but it mentally hurt me.
Yeah. Well, I think we've had an amazing chat about League of Legends.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about Twitch and things, but then Atticus might hit those notes. You've got questions about your other life, eh? Atticus, you got questions about the BBC Social?
I do, yes. So I've been making videos for the Social now for a little over a year, and it's really good fun. And mine's is kind of taking a spooky turn at the moment. We're making, like, paranormal stuff and everything. And yours is obviously gaming related content. And I just wondered if you would like to tell us a little bit more about your plans, if you're planning to collaborate with other people, other Twitch streamers, and so on.
Yes. So right now, I haven't thought too much about collaboration with other Twitch streamers necessarily, but I'm currently working on a script that's actually been in the works since, like, last year, about, like, women's experience in gaming. And so I had a couple, now a bit out of date examples, because a lot more has come up since then. Blizzard. So I think talking about that sort of issue where I feel like it would be cool to get, other people in to talk about these experiences. I think that would give me an opportunity to try and get the message out there a little bit more, because clearly some people are just not getting it, that we just want to play games and not be told to make a sandwich every game that we play. And a bit of history background. The script isn't final because I'm still updating it, but talking about how, video games originally were marketed to both little boys and little girls. And then, the industry kind of leaned towards boys because they realized they could also start making, provocative characters around the same time. And they didn't want that to be an influence on little girls, but it was fine for little boys to see it because it, manly. Things like that. I think there's a lot of really interesting bits to touch on, and so we'll see how much I keep on and see how much I make for another video. But in the future, I would love to do more conversations with other people who might experience different ways that they've been treated within the community as well. So I wouldn't mind even working with charities like Special Effect to give some background on their organization and where the donations go, because they're helping people with disabilities and bringing them together with gaming, which I think is so cool. There's things like that I'd love to get involved with. Just a lot of gaming content on a bit of a deeper level, I think. Not so much just League videos.
That sounds really interesting. Yeah, I think that'd be really It's
a
bit all over the place right now, but I'm still working it out.
And you must be getting material every day right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot, unfortunately. Yeah.
Blizzard, Riot, I think pretty much everywhere is showing that they've got toxic working environments, sadly, yeah.
And then when, like you mentioned, Blizzard and Riot are the big names, but people always say, this is not isolated. It's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Which is such a bummer because, my goal, long term, would be to work with, indie gaming companies, whether that be in marketing, whether that be on a different side, like content creation. I'm not sure. But I would love to work with companies, especially Scottish ones. And you haven't heard anything so far about those types of working environments. So it'll just be interesting to experience it firsthand and hope. That's basically all I can do. Hope.
Definitely, yeah. I was going to ask as well, Twitch as well obviously has quite a toxic environment as well with the viewers and stuff. And obviously people have lots of different opinions on it, and some opinions that are completely insane and wild. I just wondered what you think Twitch could do to kind of make it less of a misogynistic environment.
That's very difficult. I think, having the option to ban people, I found it difficult to learn how to ban people from my chat while I'm streaming. And so to have it open or be able to just click a button next to their name, I don't know if that's still how you do it, but I had to ban someone and I was struggling to figure that out. So maybe finding better ways to be able to mass ban people, or I don't think it's very well known that there are ways to make it so you can't have people copying and pasting, auto bots, the ones I'm talking about. I personally haven't experienced it, thank God, knock wood. But I have seen people expressing how upset it made them on Twitter, and seeing how awful those raid bots can be. They're horrific sometimes. And so there must be something that's as easy as a click of a button to keep things from spreading so much like that. I don't know how it works or what that solution would be, but I think it's getting to a point where like people are going to be as anonymous as they want to be on the internet. And so you can't really, you can target the person, but there's going to be bots that make mistakes that are saying whether or not they should have their account taken away or, you know, like some other form of punishment. Like it could be right or wrong. So I think it's just, you know, finding things to do as a whole. And like just finding those hateful groups and making sure they can't just be like, hey, go say some horrible things to this streamer on my behalf as well. Because those are also a thing. People talking shit and then rating you.
Yeah. I think what's quite interesting as well, which we've learned from the pandemic, is Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and stuff, they can actually flag words like COVID-19,
Yeah.
and keep track of it. But obviously they can make programs and stuff easily to track words and ban people, or just not show up words and stuff quite easily. But it's really a case of these companies, they're just not doing it, even though they can easily enough, which is quite sad, really, yeah.
Yeah, I think it... See, I was thinking about it before as well, because, like, League needs a better system for, you know, toxic players. But I read recently that the more you ban people, the more, like, the system learns from that. And so, like, reporting them isn't, like, you know, not going to do anything. Apparently the system is able to like learn from that. So reporting does help, not just being like, wham, help me, Mr. Riot Games.
Yeah. Instead of hitting the report button, they'll hit the tweet button.
Yeah, exactly.
How's that going to help?
Exactly. Apparently it does, help to report. So,
And even if, like I have a little bit of not insider knowledge, but kind of behind the scenes knowledge, being part of the League Partner Program. And they always say, or even having met writers that work in the reporting and the customer service and all that, they say reports help a lot. And write down what it is that is reportable. Don't just click some buttons and move. Write down what it was.
If someone's being awful,
Yeah, describe it, because then it helps them. And it might not happen instantly, but they're obviously working really hard in those departments, but I think there's not enough money dedicated to that. I think they definitely need more staff, more people working on it. Because automation is brilliant, and like you say, Atticus, they clearly have a way of flagging certain things, certain words, but people find ways around it. But automation is flawed at times as well.
Yeah.
And are they erring too much on the... It's rather have false... what's the word? It's rather have people getting away with it than to have people punished who didn't do it. Yeah,
exactly. I think the same's like with YouTube as well, like how it's a very flawed bot review system. And then you see like Twitch complaining about a certain type of streamer, and it's just like, well, you have the power to... You know, instead of banning these accounts that are huge, like you have the power to flag them as, you know, a certain type of stream, and then you can be 18 plus to go and watch it. That you need to age verify. You know, like it's not their fault that they are making money from the system. And if you don't want this kind of content, then you need to make it so it's either restricted so young people can't watch it, or it depends on your issue, because if you just have an issue with people doing it, then don't watch it. Like Twitch could make I was saying before, like Twitch could make a separate YouTube or a separate URL.
Yeah.
YouTube. Whatever. A separate URL, like Twitch at night or something like that, you know? and just have as many hot tub streamers as they want,
Yeah.
and still rake in that money.
Exactly.
Instead
and then you don't
of
need to worry about the
exactly.
the kids
But
or
I think a lot of people either get roped into that category or like get a shit ton of hate for being in that category, and it's just like that is also misogyny. Like let them do what they want, and if you have a problem with it, don't be mad at them. Be mad at the company who's letting them do it.
Yeah.
But if they still want money, then just make it a separate category. Like to me, it doesn't seem that crazy or out there to find a solution that would make everybody happy, but I don't know.
I think the only people that are getting mad at people being successful from those types of content are people that are just jealous.
Honestly,
they aren't doing what it takes, and they're just haters.
Exactly. I mean, it's one of those things where like people, like, if you're mad that a ton of people want to watch this hot tub streamer instead of you watching or playing League of Legends or something like that, then those people, like, there's no guarantee that they're going to spend their time on you if they're not streaming.
Yeah. If a hot tub streamer can steal your views, they were never your views in the first place.
Yeah, you'll get people who watch you that want to see your content, think you're nice or you're funny or like just think you're friendly. I have no idea, but the extent of it. But like, there's also, people who think that way about hot tub streamers, and so it's like they can have different opinions on different streamers. Like, they're not going to just say, "Oh, well, this guy's a loser now that I found this hot tub streamer." They're not going to change their opinion that quickly.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I think we've covered a huge amount of topics there. I'm just conscious for time because we said it was going to be 45 minutes. That's now been an hour.
Honestly, like, I'm not strict on time, so like, if you've got other things you want to talk about, I don't know about you guys because you might, but.
Because you got anywhere to go?
We
could stay a bit longer.
Yeah.
All I was going to say there was that I agree in that basically what's really happening there is the people that are being misogynistic or like what Musley said, they're jealous. And a large part of the reason that they're jealous is because they're not really smart enough to realize that they're comparing themselves to something that's completely different to them. So you can't be jealous of, like, something that's nothing to do with what you're doing whatsoever.
Exactly.
It's really bizarre.
It's a different genre.
Yeah, what if instead of watching a different streamer, they just went outside? Like, oh, it's so unfair.
That's
the outside
grass.
is stealing. Yeah, the grass is stealing all my views. It's so unfair. People getting fresh air. It's disgusting. Twitch needs to do something. Ban the outdoors from life.
Yeah.
One thing I think we've neglected is the chat. We have had a couple of viewers. Unstoppable Lol, be a better support player. He's I know the people in the chat. He's a challenger support player. A good guy. He is Romanian. Buna, that's Romanian for hello. And Chiafach, that's Romanian for how you doing. Oh, my camera's turned off. What's happened?
I know.
I saw it happen. This happens sometimes. I'll just get rid of it. So this might be the omen that we needed to end the stream. Oh, and just Colin. I don't even know if I'm saying her name correctly, but I follow her on Twitter, and
I think I do too.
Yeah, she's friends with Maisie Marzipan and Ross Boomsocks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, what a small world, eh?
Yeah, right.
I wonder.
That's why I love Scotland.
She maybe caught the tweet by my dad, Grandpa Musley, which is he tweeted out the stream. I asked him very politely, and he said, "If it's not like I'm not tweeting your garbage," but he did it anyway.
Amazing.
What are the chances, eh? Well, since my camera's goosed and we're way over the estimated 45 minutes, shall we call it a day there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
We can always do this again.
Exactly. Hey, you could be the third host for forever.
We'll see.
What you do is if you
You have a
stay...
better camera than me, definitely.
I think, yeah, we need to sort out the production value here. I need to get a camera that can stay on for more than 45 minutes.
Reasonable.
Atticus, you need to sort out your lighting situation because your
I
face
need a
is...
lot of things by the looks of it.
you've got too much light, I think, is the problem.
I think so, actually. I mean, let me switch off this light over here.
Wait, see this? It'll probably be perfect.
Imagine if it turned out perfect the whole time.
No, it's actually worse.
It's actually worse.
It is worse. Don't worry.
It's fine. What else was I going to say? Oh, I was on a roll. I was totally on a roll. Yeah, I was going to say, Zeph, for anyone watching, they can get your links in the description of the live stream. This will stay up as a VOD. If you stay on the line for the next few minutes, and we can chat, off air. I'm just going to end the stream. How's that sound? Is that okay?
Yeah, totally.
All right, for
It's
everyone.
been fun.
Yeah, for everyone
thanks
who's
for
watched,
joining us.
thank you, and let me hit the outro button. Cheerio, folks.
Cheer up.